All right, guys, we are gonna go over the EDC Brew Kit, the Everyday Carry Brew Kit. We're gonna go over what's in here, why I put it in here, what the use of it is, and really how to apply it to your life. Kits out there today are complicated, and I built this kit. Part of what we do is everyday carry. I wanted this to be the simplest, most effective kit on the market so that it was no frills, there's no fancy moving parts to this thing, and it will probably last forever. I'm used to being in the field, I'm used to being overseas, I'm used to being out of the Humvee and just getting coffee brewed. So I wanted something that was gonna get the job done anytime, anywhere. Okay, let's go over what's in the kit. First of all, this kit was built with a minimalistic pouch, which that means that it's not any bigger than it needs to be and it will fit everything you need in here. All you have to do is add water. I'll go over that here in a second. There are some other accessories that you're gonna get with this thing, but I'm not gonna go over everything. I'm just gonna go over the essential that you're gonna get and that you're gonna need with the kit. First thing you're gonna see when you open this thing up is that it's all purposely laid out. Everything in here has its place. It all is laid out. It even has a spot for the thermometer, which not a lot of people will include. You have the ability to measure your water for your teas, for your coffee, to make sure you're at the right temp, and everything in the brewing world deserves a different temperature. So if you know that, this is just something that you don't want to leave without. And this has its own little spot here. This conveniently clips onto any cup, anything. Obviously, you're going to use the water boiler and the steeper, which is a combined steeper and water boiler. So this is really important. I would throw this on anytime I'm brewing something. Again, it has its own little spot, slides right into, and it folds up nice and neat when you close the pouch. Next thing you're gonna see is the EDC cloth. Now, I've been out in the field quite a bit, and I can't tell you how many times I'm like, man, I wish I had something to wipe this out with. Even the grinds or the tea leaves, you can get a little bit of water to rinse it out, but it's always nice to have this. Even with my family, I can quickly rinse out and wash and wipe out the cups and the boiler, and within about 60 seconds, I have everything back in the kit. That's why this is there. This also is there so you can protect whatever you're laying out on the ground and make sure that it's got a place so it's not gonna get dirt all over the place, okay? So we're gonna lay that out. This is gonna come with the kit, and you will have to just assemble the little staff here. You just screw that on and it's good to go. You have a little O-ring in here so that it keeps everything nice and tight. I keep this like this in the kit, and it slides, has its own little spot right here that it just fits right into. You put that there and it's nice and snugged away. That's why everything fits in here. You can store it inside of the water boiler if you want to, but I actually have a gas canister in here, which is the only thing that you're gonna need to purchase at any local sporting goods store or hunting store. You can find one of these, or online at Amazon or anywhere else. So this is gonna be put aside. Next thing I'm gonna pull out is the grinder. Every kit is gonna come with a grinder. Why? Because most people out there are grinding their coffee beans, and I really am trying to build that back into people that are used to having ground coffee. It's not hard to take this thing with you everywhere. I literally have fresh coffee everywhere I go. Why did that happen? Well, because I love serving my wife and I want her to have the freshest coffee. If you have the whole beans, it keeps everything nice and fresh so that when you're ready to brew, you're getting the freshest possible option to do that first. And usually this is one of the first things that comes out of the kit, so I can load this up with one of my smaller packs, which I have right here. And this is gonna be about 2 to 3 servings in this brew grinder. So this EDC grinder, you can load this up and you can start grinding, and all you need to do is put that on and get to work. I'll go over the how in another video. This is really just about the what and the why, but I'll break down some specific instructions in another video. So that's gonna be put aside. All right, now, the other thing that I threw in here was the cup pack. This has a convenient little pouch that all these cups go into to keep everything nice and snug and it doesn't rattle around. There's 4 4-ounce cups in this bag. Awesome if you have kids or a family, or you just want to break out some coffee or tea for anybody else that you're with. it is really cool to be able to pull this thing out, whatever it is, after church, on a trip, traveling, camping, and to be able to say, hey, does anybody want to try my coffee or tea? Most of the time, people are going to say yes, and they're going to gather. What's going to happen? Everybody's going to be around this kit. You're going to be sharing story. It's pretty epic. That's probably the coolest thing about this kit. All right, next thing you're going to see is the actual stove slash steeper brewer itself. Now, this comes with a couple other accessories. You're going to see that when you open up the kit. I personally keep it in this configuration where it has the top, which keeps everything contained, but I don't use this very often, and I'll tell you why in a second. This comes out, and you can see that this just comes straight out of here. I can keep the canister ready to go. This is what it's going to attach to. So you're going to see that this simply just screws on. A little bit of a twist there to lock it in place. And then all I need to do at this point is add water. It does come with a base to give it some stabilization. If you're in an area that's a little bit more uneven, you can easily attach that. And it also comes with a little attachment that you could use to cook with a pan. So if you're out camping and you want to do some cooking, you can also just attach that and use this to do multi-purpose things with as well. So that is the cool thing about this kit, is that this is all that you need, and it easily stows in here with the top on it. Now, why don't I use this? Well, I don't use this because every time I steep, I just go from this after boiling water, whether I put my grinds or my tea in, and this just simply goes right on top. I give it a little bit of a press. I don't even need to push this all the way in. Again, I'll go over the why or the how a little bit in another video, but this is going to simply be put in here like that. I hold on to it, and even if it moves around a little bit, it is not that big of a deal. You just don't want to let it go completely sideways. And that is what that top is good for. So if you want to keep it nice and tight and nice and straight, I've just never had the need to do it. I just hold on to this and I do all my pours just like that. But you can, and that's the other point too, is because that's such a small hole, it takes a while for it to pour out. You have a little bit less of the volume control than you do with this. This is very simply as much or little as you want all at once, or just really slow pour if you want it. So that's why I keep it this way. So that's pretty much everything in the kit. And this pouch stores a few of these reloads that you want to keep with you. That's why we made these reload sides. This reload size is that they're for the kit, and they will stash in here. Offset, I got my tea, I got my favorite coffee that my wife loves, and that's it. My kit is ready to go. So now I have everything I need to be able to brew. No more, no less. I take my water out of my bottle, I pour it in the stove, I get that thing boiling to the temp that I want, I start my brew, I pour and serve anytime and anywhere. That's what's cool about this everyday carry kit. I do not leave home without this thing at this point. It's almost, you know, it's part of my keys, my wallet, my blade, everything that comes with me. I want to make sure I have this kit so I can serve my wife or anybody else that I could serve. Again, there's just a lot of good that comes of it when people are able to gather around, and there's a lot of joy and freedom to be able to do that anytime, anywhere, and have really, really high quality stuff to do it in. So I hope you guys got something out of this video and you are able to at least understand the why behind this. There's nothing else that's needed in the coffee and tea world. You got what you need right here. Go check it out at edcbrew.com. Give us some feedback, drop some comments in here. But I appreciate your guys' support and checking us out. God bless. Peace.